the tournament point situation is a little bit weird. I think I was discussing with Bishi before the game. I think 2019 it was 2 points if you win the Armageddon, if I remember correctly. But it was weird. And well, first of all, I wasn't sure if Magnus would want to play for a win in the classical game. But when he played solidly, I figured that was his strategy. But yeah, in the opening, I just simply have to play this Bishop G5 blind because I think it's the only variation that could possibly work. Like, you have to win at all costs. So it'll be better if you're worse than if you're equal. So,
sharpest choice, and yeah, where do we jump in? This position, I think, yeah, we've probably seen before, and now I'm not sure how deeply you could remember all this stuff.
I remember knight d8 was the best move according to the computer. Because somehow the knight a5 is a bit stuck, if I remember correctly. But I had this game against Alireza Piruzja last year where I had black. I think I also played knight a5, but I didn't remember the knight is better on d8. Because as later Magnus had to reroute the knight. But I mean, I was quite pleased with the opening, but somehow the bishop on g3 always gets trapped in this line. Like, I think I played in a blitz game against in Poland. Can't remember now. My bishop was almost trapped on g3. So like, yeah, rook b1 is interesting. I mean, he could play h5.
If black plays, I don't know, h5, you push b6 or?
Yeah, b6.
Such a weird position.
And then h3. And at the very least, his bishop is dead. Right, enjoy. But you mentioned, Jan, you made the chessable course on this line.
I can't remember details. I recall I was looking at both knight d8 and knight a5, as you said, and I think knight a5 clicking I thought was fine, but then I played some games and I always got crushed on the queen, so I'm not sure. Very complicated line.
Because black can also, instead of a6, he can play a5.
Yeah, of course. I think nowadays, they always just grab the space.
Very solid setup. But I figured I simply had to go for this kind of position, because otherwise Magnus knows all the maneuvers, all the piece placement. It's very hard to win. But here started using a lot of time, which is very good for me.
Yeah. And I was curious, did you ever get worried at some point? Because it looked very scary.
Well, yeah, it did look very scary. I think black was better at some point, but he was low on time. He had like 2 minutes somewhere when he played knight f4, I think. So that's my only consolation.
Okay.
Takes knight h2. I think knight f4 is good.
This setup is hard to break, but yeah, this maneuver he played was nice, no? This knight f4, knight h5.
Yeah, and he's just in time, because if I get rook e1, knight df1, I'm consolidating all the plays. Yeah, I think knight b3 was already bad, but I couldn't see a move. And I think Magnus disliked the move knight d8.
We can check. Computer says knight c4, but yeah, likes black's position here.
Like, what's the evaluation?
-1.
Oh yeah, so it's a terrible position. Yeah, I think I misplayed. Maybe d4 was a very bad move, or bishop d5, somewhere around there. But here I thought the Magnus can just play a queen g5, and then he's better.
No, computer didn't like d4, which looks very normal. It just says knight c4, intending to play knight b6, and it says 0, so whatever.
And if knight h5?
Knight c4, knight h5, bishop c6. And bc knight d6.
Okay. Oh yeah, beautiful. That's a nice trick, huh? And white wins.
Yeah.
Wow, rook e5, rook h5.
That's very beautiful.
Yeah, that's very nice. Yeah, it's a very nice trick. I mean, it's very possible black could fall for this line. I guess Shaq played. Yeah, knight c4 was very
game.
But here, I think after knight b3, Magnus should just play queen g5, and it's probably better. Because the bishop on a7 is always very strong in this line. So queen g5, and he can start playing for a win.
Yeah.
But knight d8 was maybe too cautious. Yeah, I'll switch off the computer again. I see it also says here, just take queen g5. It doesn't even care about this pawn.
Yeah, I was worried about that. And yeah, the bishop on a7 is just a tremendous piece. Then yeah, but here when he played knight d8, he had around less than 2 minutes, so I was very pleased. But
Now you're back in business, yeah, so the bishop is under
Yeah.
pressure.
yeah, now I think white is better. Just one mistake
And when the seconds were ticking down, you didn't have too much time, even though you were much better on the board. I mean, how did you keep your composure? Because I'm asking this from a personal perspective, because I lose control.
But he had time. It was Magnus' second.
It was Magnus who had seconds.
3 minutes.
Okay.
I had the 3 minutes.
You had 3 minutes.
Yeah, I was way up on the clock. I think I was up. I think when he had 2 minutes, I still had 5 minutes.
Okay.
And we kept looking at the screen, checking whether we reached move 40.
So you were in full control. I like that.
Only on the clock. Only on the clock. My mother tells me try to always be ahead on the time. Yeah, he was crazy. Like he was fortunate. He had rook b7, and I couldn't find the win. It looked much better for white, but maybe it's nothing special. I mean,
Yeah, it looked like you were breaking through, but somehow there's rook b8 and rook b7, and he's surviving for now. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Maybe white is just slightly better. So. Yeah, here I thought he was equalizing.
Yeah,
I was
here-
lucky to have, unfortunate to have rook d1.
I think, yeah, computer said d5, and you only have a slight advantage here. Nothing
Yeah.
special. It says 0.30 or something. Well, after c5, it got more
Yeah.
more optimistic again.
I still thought he could hold the draw there. I mean, he's just a pawn down. But when I got e5, and then he played king h7.
Yeah.
Like here, maybe he should just try to trade queens, yeah,
Yeah.
king g7. Yeah.
And do you feel that this format favors the white side on the Armageddon? Because so far everyone has won with the white pieces.
Oh, so how many were yesterday?
Three Armageddons. And
Oh, three. Wow.
white won.
So Magnus and then Wang Hao, and
Yeah.
then
Shakhriyar Mamedyarov.
Aryan, and who was the other one?
The other one was, you're testing us, Wesley.
I remember? Yeah, Anish, yeah,
No, I can
Anish.
never
Yeah,
remember
Anish.
anything.
with his Catalan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I think 2019 Black won majority of the games by quite a bit margin.
Okay.
But this year, we'll see how this Maxim game goes.
And what are your thoughts on this game between Maxim and Shakhriyar? They came from a Petrov.
Yeah, I was watching the game.
Ah, knight d3. Good old knight d3.
Yeah, it's not a good line, huh? Maybe
I don't know. It looks so stupid, but Magnus plays at every World Championship match. You get one knight d3. No.
Yeah, I mean, I think in this format, yeah, it's hard to say. Maybe it's around equal, the time control, 10-7. Also, 1 second increment on move 40 is basically nothing. So,
Because also 1 second with pushing the clock, you can still lose on time. No, it's really little
Yeah.
if you're not used to it.
yeah, that's what Wesley was saying during the opening. I think because before it was 2 seconds after move 60. But I don't know. Who do you think favors Yan?
I don't know. I thought 10-7 sounds about fair, more or less.